Good evening once again, and welcome to another episode of Capsules of Love, Self-Love, Self-Care. I am your host once again, Richard Albert Lawrence Sr. And remember what God's Word says. God's Word says, yes, I love you. A resounding yes. I love you with an everlasting love. On this episode of Capsules of Love, Self-Love, Self-Care, I would like to speak from a title that came from the Ten Commandments. Charlton Heston said this all the way back in, I think, 1965 when they made the Ten Commandments. There is beauty beyond the senses. That quote is not from me, but I would like to speak from that for a few minutes. There is beauty beyond the senses, right? He was speaking about his wife Zipporah and Pharaoh's daughter, who was in love with him. And Zipporah, who was married to him, she was just a regular farm girl. It so happens that her father was Jethro. He had 7 daughters. He didn't have any sons. And of course, she was very beautiful, but because she's a farm girl, she lives on a farm, she lives in the desert, she takes care of animals, even with all the beauty, because her hands are not as polished, the nails are not polished, she don't have on the eyelashes and all that stuff. Meanwhile, Moses, Pharaoh's daughter, she lives in Pharaoh's palace. She has all the nice perfume. The hair is all well done and all this other stuff. She thinks she got one over on Moses' wife, Zipporah. And Moses made that statement to Pharaoh's wife, that there is beauty beyond the senses. We sometimes look at people, even our own selves, through the lens of what society says we should look like or we should behave like. Society says for a man you need to be average height 5'9", 5'8", some places, 150, 160 pounds, be in good physical shape. For a woman, you need to be not less than 5'3", 5'4", maybe 120 to 125 pounds. Need to have shape like a Coke bottle, 36 on the chest, 24 on the waist, 36 on the hips. You know what I mean? Yeah, 36, 24. And we see beauty from the place of senses, what we can look at, what we see. But there is a beauty that goes way beyond the senses, something our eyes can't see. For example, when someone is kind, when someone is generous, when someone is forgiving, when someone is when someone is generously patient, when someone perseveres and they stick to something with someone. There's a beauty about someone who is kind and caring and compassionate. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is a beauty beyond the senses. Not trying to get biblical or scriptural, but yes, God's word says that man sees the outward appearance, but God says, I see the heart. This is how we need to start seeing people. We need to start looking at people when we see them from the standpoint of the beauty that is not physically displayed, but the beauty that comes from within. The beauty that when you pass someone on the street, you say good morning, or you give them a greeting, hi, how are you, instead of walking past them as if they're not even a person. It seems like we're getting so impersonal in our society. So yes, there is a beauty beyond the senses. Yes, I don't want this video to be long, but I do want someone to walk away from the fact that we can start looking beyond the physical attributes of people and start looking from the beauty that comes from within. And the best way to start is to start with you. Start with yourself. So the same way we start this video is the same way we're going to end it. Remember what God's word says. God's word says, yes, I love you. A resounding yes. I love you with an everlasting love. So, as you go throughout this week, try and look for the beauty that is beyond the senses. Like this video, but it would be better if you share it with someone and let them know that there's also beauty within them. Have a good rest of your evening, and God bless you, is my prayer.